just one for anybody. Appreciate it. My what's up? What's up? Y'all appreciate all the love. All right, we're about to add Mike in right now. What's up, brother?
Good. How are you?
Good, good. Why don't you just go ahead and introduce yourself to the Who Dat Nation real quick?
Michael Burton, fullback.
Sweet. All right, so just a couple questions. I appreciate you, first of all, giving us your time real quick to, during this coronavirus outbreak and whatnot, giving us your time to keep these guys entertained and whatnot. So,
absolutely.
First question is, how does it feel to be on a team that actually truly values the fullback position?
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. It really does. Luckily, historically used it between 20 and 25. So it's just a great opportunity for fullbacks to showcase their skills. So I couldn't be more excited for the opportunity.
Hey, we're excited to have you too.
Absolutely.
So, have you always been a fullback, in high school and everything? Did you start off as a fullback, or did you change positions?
So, high school, I was a running back, and then when I got to college, I switched to fullback, and then the NFL has always been a fullback. But even growing
how was that transition? Was that
hard? Back too. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Is that a difficult transition or pretty easy or?
It was pretty easy. I always say I think playing running back my whole life kind of helped me transition to the fullback, right? Because if you ask a lot of fullbacks, they have to read the entry point just like the running back does, right? So,
right, yeah.
Those who have played before kind of have that understanding. Not to say that others can't, because obviously you can make that. Kind of having that background as a running back certainly helped me for sure.
For sure, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So, last year you were competing with Zach Line a little bit throughout training camp and then into the preseason. But, you got injured and then ultimately, released, unfortunately. So, what's that like? Do you guys have just, motivation or, what's, the process, per se?
Yeah, listen, it was unfortunate, right? Training camp is such an inopportune time to get injured. It's the most important part of trying to make the roster during that time period. And to get injured then, obviously is very unfortunate. But I learned a lot from Zach. He's a great pro. He taught me a lot, from the mental aspect, playbook, and all that kinds of things. He's been in the league a few years longer than I have. He's shown me, how you stay in the league, how to carry yourself throughout the building. So learned a great lot from him. The organization is phenomenal, right? They're a winning organization. Learned a lot from them, and I was able to carry that over to kind of how I carried myself, when I was in Washington this past year. So, just very excited to get back with them, and obviously hoping for a better turnout, than last year.
Right. Super Bowl, baby. It's happening.
Yeah.
So, you worked with Saints coaches before, Joe Lombardi, Darren Rizzi, and Phil Galliano, from Rutgers, and then obviously Joe Lombardi when you were with Detroit. And obviously, you worked with those guys a little bit last year with your time left. So, did that help, your transition a bit easier?
Oh, yeah. I mean, absolutely. So, Coach Lombardi was my offensive coordinator when I got drafted to Detroit in 2015. So, really, that's the playbook, the Saints playbook right now. That's the playbook I've been studying and I looked at when I was a rookie in 2015.
Oh, wow.
So, when I got there even last year, I was already familiar with the playbook just because I had already went through an entire preseason, training camp, and season of running that offense and that. And it just so happened that year was the most snaps I played at the fullback position. So, again, that going back to what we discussed interest, always, helps out for sure.
Definitely. I feel like that would be a very smooth transition. You already have the same playbook and everything.
No,
that's nice.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
So you played with like the Lions, Bears, Saints, and Redskins. Like any particular guys who have helped you along the way, like make your transition smooth entering the NFL and whatnot?
Yeah, I mean, I've had some great pros, right? When I was in Detroit, Calvin Johnson, Matt Stafford, Dan Orlovsky, all those types of guys really helped me out a lot when I was in Detroit. They played at such a high level for such a long time, and I was able to kind of just spend time with them to learn really how to be a pro, just coming into the league, and they held themselves to such high standard and expectations, so I just tried to meet that standard and expectation. So for those guys in Detroit, they were extremely helpful. And same in Chicago, right? Some of my best friends, Cody Whitehair, Mitch Trubisky, center, quarterback, like guys that are just pay such great attention to detail, take care of themselves off the field, on the field, all those types of things. So try to just, be around those types of people, right? And then obviously this past year, in Washington, Adrian Peterson, right? Hall of Famer, just can do it all. Makes fullback stops so much easier because of how special he is. And again, a guy that's just played for so long, but also played at such a high level for so long. Just trying to pick his brain as much as I can, ask him questions in meetings on the practice field and all that kind of stuff. And he was great about it and learned a lot from him, for sure.
Yeah, that's awesome. So,
yeah, no, definitely.
So you play any other sports besides football growing up or anything like that? What were your other hobbies, kind of?
Yeah, so growing up, I pretty much played all sports. I played basketball, I wrestled, baseball, soccer, lacrosse. But when I got to high school, I just played football and lacrosse, and then up until even my senior year, I stopped playing lacrosse and I just focused on football. So, but growing up, up until that point of high school, I played all kinds of sports and just loved it. I think it helps you, playing in one sport can help you play in another sport. You know what I'm saying? I think, it's just something you can do all year round to kind of, stay in shape and build that camaraderie with guys and teammates and learn how to work together and all those types of things are so beneficial that I just love the team aspect of all sports growing up.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
yeah. So how do you stay in shape during the off season? Like any particular workouts you do? Like what's your diet like? Stuff like that for the young athletes out here who are maybe tuning in.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Just listen, I think you always have to be on, right? Like you always have to be taking care of your body. You always have to be working out, eating the right things, to stay in shape. I always say it's so much easier to get out of shape than it is to get in shape. So I'd rather just stay in shape all year round and prepare to play at all times. So just working out every single day, trying to eat the right things, staying away from sweets and all those types of things, food that I'm sure everybody viewing it enjoys. I try to stay away from that and eat as strict as possible. Make sure I'm hydrated, resting, and all those types of things that that I learned along the way from these pros, right? So guys that have played at a high level for a long time have instilled that in me, and I'm just trying to carry that throughout my daily life, especially during the off season.
Nice. So, how hard is it to learn an NFL playbook?
Well, it's definitely hard for sure, right? Because each week it changes schematically, depending on what type of defense you're playing, the personnel, you just have to change things up, right? But when I was in college, so I was at 5 years at Rutgers, and each year at Rutgers I had a different offensive coordinator, every single year. So I had to learn 5 different offenses in 5 years, and I think that kind of helped me in the NFL, basically just be able to adapt to whatever that scheme or whatever the playbook was for that specific week. And I had a few college offensive coordinators who came from the NFL. So they were actually introducing NFL offenses and playbooks and things like that. So I kind of got a head start because we ran a pro-style type offense in college that had a lot of NFL type game plan. So I've been looking at that stuff kind of since I got in college. So it's been a great transition thus far. I've had a lot of help from my coaches. Obviously every coach that I've been able to play with has been excellent. They've really helped me out. So it's been a pretty smooth transition up to this point for sure.
That's awesome. So, what's your plan after football? Do you have any plans
around young athletes, mentoring them. Whether it be high school, I'd like to do, or maybe in the NFL, and maybe even college. I'm not too sure exactly what level, but definitely in the sports world and being around kids and coaching. And if not that, then maybe, scouting on the more, the personnel side of the business as well. I really enjoy watching tape and looking at guys and schemes and their strengths or weaknesses and all those types of things. I think that helps you become a great player to really study, be prepared, right? Preparation. So I could see myself kind of maybe coaching or being in the personnel, side of things as well. So, yeah.
Awesome. And final question for you. This was kind of a fun one. I know there's actually a fan, whenever I was promoting our Q&A, that lit up on the story that wanted me to ask you this. He wanted to know, like, what song or songs are on your pregame playlist?
Pre-game playlist songs. That's interesting. So I kind of do a little bit of everything. I'm not just like one genre. I can do country music, believe it or not. I can do rap. I can even do like some more upbeat, house music type stuff too. With some
go-to country
music and just like stuff. Yeah, but or country, like I said, or rap. I'm kind of, I can listen to it all. I don't really have a preference for sure, but I kind of listen to everything. I enjoy it. Whatever, I guess, however I'm feeling, before that game is kind of what I'm going to listen to. So, yeah.
Who's your go-to country artist?
Oh, man. I like Jason Aldean, Luke Bryan, Thomas Rhett, Sam Hunt, Luke Combs. I like country. Dan Shea. I like all those guys. Yeah, I'm typically a big country guy for sure. So, yeah,
awesome.
Absolutely. I know.
All right, Mike.
Some people say it's like the new age country, and it's like too like hip hop for them. They like kind of the old stuff, but I listen to Jason Aldean, some of the old stuff. I kind of like the new
good country.
Yeah, exactly. So
check out my boy Russell Dickerson too.
Oh, okay, absolutely. I will, absolutely, for sure.
All right, thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I appreciate it. If you have any social medias you want to plug and whatnot, feel free.
Okay, cool. Yeah, no, I appreciate everybody coming out, following me, and listening to this. I hope you guys learned a lot. If you have any other questions, feel free to reach out on social media. You have my handle. Give me a follow, and if you guys have any questions, just shoot me a DM, and we'll talk through it. Thank you so much for having me on. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mike.